Under reflection, we have on the x-axis, if you are to reflect any point on the x-axis, you are going to have, let's assume the coordinates x comma y. So the rule says that when you reflect a point x comma y on the x-axis, you are going to have x comma negative y. Okay, so in that case, if you are given, let's say, a point 2 comma 3, then what do you think will be the reflection? The reflection is going to be 2 comma negative 3. That's good. Now let's look at a reflection on the y-axis. So in any case, the point reflection on the y-axis, if you are to reflect, let's say, a point x comma y on the y-axis, then you are going to have minus x comma y. That's very simple. So here you have x comma y. Let's assume a point. Let's take 2 comma 4 as a new point. And when you reflect this on the y-axis, you are going to have 2 comma 4, and then you negate the x. What is the conclusion? In this means that if you are to reflect a point on the x-axis, the y take the negative. And if you are reflect the y or the coordinate on the y-axis, the x takes the negative. So that is the conclusion. Now let's look at other reflections that we may not be able to realize. Assuming that you are to reflect on a point x is equal to y. Now reflecting a point on x is equal to y. Here is the same as y is equal to s in that case. So we are going to have a point x comma y, and your new coordinate is to negate the 2 points. So you have minus x minus y. Okay, so here if you also want, you are asked to reflect it on a different point. Let's say x is equal to a. So most of the time students are able to realize this. S is equal to a. Now to reflect x is equal to a, you are going to apply a particular formula. Let's assume this is x comma y, and we want to reflect that to a. For x is equal to a, you are going to have 2a minus x comma y. So this is the formula. If you want to do that, this is the formula for reflecting x is equal to a. A stands for any point. So you have x is equal to, let's say, 2 of a point 1 comma 1. What you do is that you see that sometimes the question will ask you to reflect it on a particular line. It will not tell you x-axis, but x is equal to a particular number. Here, you apply this formula. So assuming this is an example, you have 2 times a, our a is the 2, minus x, x is 1, and then comma, our y is 1. So when you simplify this, you're going to have 4 minus 1 will give you 3, comma 1. Very simple, right? Yes. Now let's look at the second one. Reflecting y is equal to, let's say, b. Now, in order to reflect it on y-axis of a different point, you have to also apply another formula. And this formula is very easy to go about it. So you have a point x comma y. If you want to do the reflection, the first thing that you consider as a formula is going to be x comma 2b minus y. X comma 2b minus y. So this is the new point or the coordinate that is used. So assuming you have y is equal to 1, and then you are reflecting on a point 3 comma 3. So the point here, you pick the x already, 3 comma 2b. 2b is 1, right? Our b is 1. Then minus 3. So simplifying, you have 3 comma 2 times 1 is 2 minus 1 is minus 1, and that will be your new point. I believe you get this rule. Comment and then subscribe so that we'll have more lessons on rigid motion.